These are Sachsen models, I think that's how you pronounce it. German-made little wagons and some coaches from a company that's now defunct. The history of this company is quite interesting because it came out of the fall of the Berlin Wall when East and West Germany reunited, and there were a number of companies in East Germany that made model railway items. One of these was called VEB Modelbahn Euben, and that was reprivatised and named Sachsen Model, or Saxony Models, because this was based in Saxony and it revived some of the old GDR era moulds with improved plastics and upgraded printing as well. They had a partnership with Rocco for a while who helped distribute these models, and the company survived from around about 1990. However, they fell upon hard times and they were going to go insolvent. So another company called Tillig, who I've mentioned before, I've done some reviews of their stuff, actually bought the company in the year 2000 and added the HO models to their range, and that's why you can see made by Tillig on one of these boxes. Tillig still do HO scale stuff, but they don't continue the Sachsen model brand anymore. So these are definitely from an era between around about 1990 to the early 2000s. So it's going to be interesting to check out these models. We've got 3 to look at today, all in HO scale. So let's begin with the one at the top. So this box is certainly quite bashed and it's also split at the top here. Looks like it's been cut or something. Now these are all second-hand models and I'll let you know how much I paid for these at the end of the video. But this box has number 16061 and you see it's a pack wagon of the DB, so a baggage car basically, and it's a type PWG. So let's get this open and we'll check it out. So this is actually quite a lovely little baggage car. It's got some really nice printing up here of the DB, the number and the PWG. The windows are also very clear and they have these little cream surrounds as well, which looks great, and we've got some bars on this window which looks as though it's been printed onto the clear plastic. This one is whited out, I guess it's a toilet in there. The moulding is made in this dark green colour which looks really good. It's got a slight sheen to it but it's not too bad at all, and we also even have some printing down the chassis which looks really good. As I was doing that, you probably noticed that this little running board wobbles about a bit. I think it's just a push fit in and it's not quite as secure as it could be. This could benefit from some glue, but it is really fine and delicate as well. And I do like some of the details on the main moulding, like these hatches here. The door looks pretty good. It's not as well defined as I've seen on some other models, but it's certainly pretty good. If you look down this end, we've got some ladders which are an extra piece moulded in black. These actually move as well. They're not very secure down the bottom. And you can see that the roof is also a separate piece, so this will be 2 parts, I guess. Around this side it's very similar to the side we just saw, no real difference. So looking up on the roof, we've got this bit of the moulding here, like a cable coming to the central point, another little vent there above the toilet, and we've got a chimney and another little lamp up here with a cable. The finish on the roof is really good. I love that colour. It's kind of like a silvery brown colour. It's almost like it's got a texture, but it's actually quite smooth. And it is a separate piece. You can see if I just lift a little bit, it's going to come off. It's just clipped on, I guess, as is probably most of the rest of this wagon. So looking at the chassis now, we have NEM couplings here and the cantilever. The mechanism is inside the van and it's got a little spring as well, so that's pretty cool. The planking detail is also very good. We've got some grain effect on it, and we've got the brake gear as separate pieces put in here, and this tank is a separate piece. The wheels, they revolve okay, I guess. They're dulled as well. And if we look, we've got the brakes in line with the wheels and really good axle boxes too. The buffers are just part of the chassis though, and there's no real detail on the buffer beam at all. And at this end, it's pretty plain, but we do have these little windows at the top which look great, and we have some more printing. The printing on this is absolutely superb. I really like it. Although on the corners, these pieces look as though they may be suffering a little bit. But overall, this is a really lovely little wagon. I think the finish is really great and it's got a very good level of detail. But it does seem a little bit flimsy in places and maybe could be just constructed together a little bit better, or maybe just a little bit of glue will help these pieces stay on. It's a good opener. Let's move on to the next one. So it's a slightly different designer box now. We have a polystyrene tray instead of a plastic tray. This one is number 76210. It looks like it's an engineering wagon, an XPWG09, and it's from the Deutsche Bahn Epoch 3. It's going to be quite interesting to check this out. Let's get it open. So this is a really cute looking van. I really like the looks on this one. Presented here in the brown, it's got some white printing on it which is very clear, and I absolutely love this little part here because it's glazed as well. It looks as though it's an extra piece that's been added onto the moulding. The rivet detail is really good on the bracing and even extends across the top of the little platform part here. And it has an indication of handrails here, but they're just part of the main moulding, as are these steps that are coming down. I do like the fact it's got some rivet detail there. And if we look at this end of the van, we've got a brake wheel, which is an extra piece added in. Got some nice planking detail and bracing there. We've even got a door and a window inside, which is glazed and has some nice rivet detail. The buffers are separate pieces which have been added into the main piece of moulding. And on this side we've got the sticky out bit on a different place, which is really quite cool. So it's got a bit of difference on each side. It's got the same kind of printing though. And then when we come down this side, it's another little platform, exactly the same as one we saw, but without the brake wheel. Up on top, the roof is a separate piece and it's got quite a shine to it. I think that could probably benefit from a bit of matte varnish, but hopefully you'll see underneath the platform there that this is brown. So this is the main moulding and this is separate piece that's added on. So it actually has an inner part on the roof there, which is quite interesting. And we have a separate piece here which is representing a chimney up on the roof. So underneath it's quite an interesting setup here because we do have cantilever couplings in NEM pockets, and we have this detail in the middle, some planking and brake gear, and a screw that's holding this model together. And what I find is quite interesting is that I've seen some Tillig HO scale models that are more recent than this one, but they have exactly the same chassis, which is quite interesting. They're still using it. The wheels look really good. They're dulled metal and they revolve really well. And we've got brakes in line with those wheels. And there's a nice amount of detail here on the axle box and springs, but not a huge amount of definition. I actually think that the chassis is the worst part of this model. The actual brown part is the best. And it is quite interesting to know that they still use this chassis on current HO scale models, or at least the ones I was reviewing, which are fairly new, certainly newer than this one. But I do actually really like this wagon. It's really quite cool. But let's move on to the next one. So again, the box has changed. This time it says made by Tillig up in the top here. So this is obviously newer than the year 2000. And we have a polystyrene tray, but this is an enclosed box this time. On the end here we have the number 76438, and it's a Kolkobel wagon. I think that's how you pronounce it, from the Deutsche Reichsbahn from era 4. Now I have a suspicion this is actually a wagon that I've reviewed already and much older than this one. It's certainly going to be quite interesting to check out this one anyway. So let's get it open and see what it's like. Well, even though I got this as a second-hand model, we have the little handles and little extra pieces inside this bag here, which has been sealed from the factory and hasn't been fitted. So as we look at this model a bit closer, you'll see that, like, for example, that there are holes on the top here. So those are little handles that go on there and they'll be inside this packet. But let's just have a look at the model for now. So this has a little bit of weathering added to it. It's almost like it's been sprayed just lightly with white on the top here. And that would be consistent with a chalk wagon, which is obviously going to get a lot of white chalk dust on it. Although this is the same type of wagon as the Pico one I reviewed, this is definitely a different moulding because it's much more refined. The black chassis part of this model is really quite cool. It's got some planking detail on this platform here and the railings look alright. They're not too thin but not too thick as well, and you can also bend them a little bit so they can take a bit of a knock or two. It's got the brake wheel there and some steps coming down. The buffers are integral into the chassis as well, and they're not too bad at all. Looking down the side, we've got some printing here in white on the black, which looks really good. And we have axle boxes and spring detail, much better than on the brown van we just saw. The brakes are in line with the wheels, and the wheels revolve pretty good. They're not dulled on this one, they're very shiny. And now looking underneath, you can see that it's a frame chassis, which is pretty cool. And the chalk buckets are attached with screws that you can see there. So the Pico one that I looked at, they weren't attached at all like that. Again, we've got cantilever couplings in NEM pockets. Very neat how they've managed to get that underneath the chassis there. And there's two springs, one here and here for the mechanism. So that's actually quite cool, I like that. And we have this extra part here for the brake gear that's been added on too. Now looking at the actual containers for the chalk, they look really quite cool. The hatches on the top are very well defined. Got these little rings here, which I guess are to lift them off of the wagon when it gets unloaded. It's certainly quite an interesting model, this one. It's something a bit different than just a normal box wagon. And I like the fact it's had a slight dusting of spray paint to represent the chalk. So something a bit different, and like the other two, is also a nice wagon. So let's put them all on the scales and see how much they weigh. So the baggage wagon we saw first is 64 grams. The engineering wagon is 39 grams. So three interesting models from Sachsen Models. I'm going to go with the English version, it's easier for me to say. Each of these has a lot of character and they're very different to one another, but they all have the company ethos of producing acceptable models at a low price, and these are certainly that. Each one has some characteristics which make it really quite special. For example, the baggage car in the green, I like the running boards, they're very delicate. I like the windows as well, they're really good, and obviously the printing is spot on as well. The engineering wagon, well, I like the parts that stick out it, and they're glazed as well. The printing again is superb, and there's a lot of nice rivet detail on it. And finally, the chalk wagon is very unusual. I like the fact it's been spray painted a little bit to give it a bit of weathering, and you've got a bag of extra parts as well to add on all the handles. So there's a lot of detailed parts on that model for such a small thing. Overall then, I think the company did a great job with these. They produced some models which have got a good level of detail, probably give modern wagons a run for their money, and they didn't cost the earth either. I'm a little bit confused about why the Sachsen model went bust at the end of the day, because I think the quality of the stuff that they produce is really good. But that means now that these are all on the second-hand market, which brings me on to how much these cost. Well, I actually think I got them for a bargain price because each of them cost me £8 when bought together. So I think that represents good value for money for what you're getting here. I think they stack up by today's standards, and you wouldn't really know that these models were, they're going to be more than 20 years old, and maybe even 30 or possibly 40 years old, depending on when the molds were actually made and where they came from. So it's definitely worth checking out these models. I think they make good second-hand purchases, and I guess you're wondering which is my favourite out of these. I think I'm actually going to go for the engineering wagon this time around. I do like the chalk wagon, but this one I think just has a little bit of cheeky character to it that I just like. But let me know what you think is the best one in the comments below, and what you think of these models overall. And if you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really helps this channel. I'll put these onto the turntable so you can see all the way around, and in a moment another video will appear, so just click on that and I'll see you there for another review. But that's it for this one. Hope you like these models as much as I do, and I'll see you on the next one.
So model train, model world, choo choo.